Okay, all right. Then you have to balance that bike and hold it up.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never.
So, practicing my stopping. First time I got the bike, the first couple of weeks, when I would stop, I would put both feet down. So I've been practicing. Every time I come to a red light or a stop sign, I'll stop with my front and back brake, and then I would let off my front brake and end it up with my back brake, and then keep my foot on my right on my back brake and put my left foot down to balance the bike. And it takes a little practice to do that. Because one of the things you want to do when you come to a stop, you definitely don't want to have your handlebars turned, and you don't want to use your front brake too much, because your back brake is your control brake. And yes, all of your stopping power is in your front brake. You squeeze it and don't grab it. And this bike doesn't have ABS. So with no ABS, I can't stump on that back brake either, because the back tire just slide out from under me. So what I normally do is when I come up to a stop sign, or I have to stop, I'll start off with the front and the back brake. Then I'll ease off of the front brake and complete the stop with my back brake, keeping my right foot up and putting my left foot down. Like right now, I'm getting ready to stop. I'm gonna shift it down to first. Front and back brake, only back brake now, and then I'll put my left foot down. And once I complete the stop, I normally put 2 feet down. I just feel better doing that. So I'm just practicing, making sure, you know, I got it down. I mean, you practice something enough, you'll get what's called muscle memory. And once you get that muscle memory, you don't have to think about it. It just automatically happens. And so you want to get your mind in that automatic mode. When you get ready to come to a stop, just using your front and back brake to slow down. And right before you get ready to stop, just use your back brake, because your back brake is the one keeps, I call it the control brake, because I have more control with the back brake at really slow speeds, like doing U-turns or left turns, or just stopping at a stoplight or stop sign. So I'll just get out Sunday evenings and just practice. You know, I'll practice emergency braking, because if something go down, I want it to be muscle memory. And so some of the most important things that I think you should always keep in mind: when I'm riding, I always think about S, the letter S, and B. The first S stands for speeding. Speeding is really really dangerous. So you don't want to speed. That's one of the S's to stay away from. Second S is space. You want to always make sure you give yourself enough space where you have time to stop. And the B stands for braking. I mean, I always have emergency braking on my mind. And see that finger right there? That's not what you're thinking. I use that finger to cover my brakes. So anytime I need to have my hand on my front brakes, it's that finger. I only use that one finger to cover my brakes. So SSB, I keep that on my mind. S for speed. You know, I try not to do obsessive speeding. And S, I make sure I always leave cars space in case I have to react to something. Never tailgate. And B, braking is always on my mind because I want to be able to stop. So SSB is something I always keep on my mind as I'm riding. So a lot of times I get on the bike, one of the things I'll say, SSB. Now that's why we got motorcycles. We want to ride fast, but make sure you doing it in a safe manner. That's something under your control. And giving cars enough space in front of you is in your control. And knowing how to use your brakes is in your control with a little practice. You want to make braking muscle memory. You don't want to think about, what am I supposed to do? You can't be too nervous or too excited where you grab that front brake because you're trying to cause a crash. You're going to have a crash trying to. You got to remember not to squeeze that front brake. You got to remember not to snatch that front brake or grab that front brake. Everything should be slow. If you see a situation, and usually if you're not in full panic mode, that's why I keep my finger on the brake. So the first sign that you have to stop, you just put a little pressure on that brake and that collapses the front wheel. Then you can squeeze 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Like if you're going to U-turn, your front brake you don't want to use. You want to use your back brake to stay in control. Usually I use my clutch and throttle. And back brake, because you'll find your back brake gives you more control. So I'm going to do some emergency braking. I'm going to find a line. So watch my front end as it go down. So I'm just going to pick a line and then start braking. Get up to about 20 miles an hour. now. So you find you a nice empty parking lot like this. And I don't have my cones. Let's see, that's good. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 poles. I'm gonna come back at that first pole. I'm gonna start braking. And see how long it takes me to stop. Should be able to get up to about 20 miles an hour. Huh. See if I could do better. I'm in first gear. It'd take me like 3 parking spaces, so let's do it again. Not too bad, not too bad. I gotta watch him. And I'm really braking with one finger. And I'm only using one finger to brake, using my front brake. And I'm, you know, holding down, squeezing on my back brake. If I had my cones, I can work on my U-turns. Now, I'm just doing circles. I'm giving it a little gas, my back brake so I don't go too fast. But my clutch, I'm really in the friction zone. I'm holding it in the friction zone. And every time it feels like I'm about to fall, I just give it a little more gas. It's hard for me to judge without the cones, but I think it's taking me 3, so I'm gonna do the last 3 parking spaces here. And see what happens. Okay, all right. Then you have to balance that bike and hold it up. I'm gonna come back another time. I'm gonna have to come back another time with my cones. All right, the last 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do 3. Second. Now I'm at 40 miles an hour. On my brake, go. You hear it about to stop? You just have to pull in your clutch. Give it a little gas. Stop at the first pole. Took me 3 of those poles to stop at about 20 miles an hour. And so I'm riding on my Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Classic. I'm getting ready to do the 10,000 mile review, and I'll go over and let you know all the things that I modified. what I like about it, what I may want to change. And that's coming up, I'm at 9,000 plus now, so probably by the end of this month I'll be able to do the 10,000 mile review. So one thing, when you're gonna make a turn, never stop with your handlebars turned, because you will fall, the bike will fall over. But once you had a complete stop, you don't want to just try to go and turn as you're going. So you had a complete stop, you can go ahead and turn, then go. Had to keep in your lane, you won't go across that yellow line.